Hi, Sagittarius. Well, okay. The world is a stage in February for you. Everyone is looking. You want to make a good impression. People you don't even know are looking. They're watching. Everyone's like scoping you. People in positions that if you knew they were scoping you, you would be on your best behavior. So be on your best behavior. Now you know. And the opportunities that will arise later because of your awareness now will be huge. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be disingenuous. Just be the best version of yourself and don't pop off. The Hangman. First card out. Don't pop off because you run the risk of getting stuck in ways that could so easily move forward. Now, in other ways, you may feel very stuck, not because things are actually not moving, they're just not moving as fast as you want, which is very different, right? So the Hangman is like, Mars is pushing you, Jupiter, there's some funny stuff going on with Jupiter, and the way it comes into alignment with a couple of other planets. So you're feeling like you want to go, but you can't. Hanged man, feeling stuck. Not because things aren't moving. Things are moving. They're just not going fast enough for you. And if things aren't going fast enough for you, you might get upset. You could. The frustration I'm feeling off of you guys just from looking at this image, like you're not into it. That's how not into it you are. Cool. I'm glad we understand each other. So, let's keep going. The world is a stage and you feel stuck. Can't this play go any faster? I just really want to be myself. Can y'all just let me live so I can be myself, please? Can we move things along? Hold up a little and take your own archetypal advice and balance out between the heart and the mind. Take it easy. You're gonna have to chill a little bit, Sagittarius, just a little bit. I get all the enthusiasm. I get that you want to go 1,000,000 miles an hour, but we also want you to make a really good impression. Right? A really good impression. And so that means not rushing, not taking on more than you can do, not promising more than you can do. Because the people who are watching you, who would like to promote you, give you more money, more opportunity, they would rather you promise less and do it well than promise a lot and not be able to deliver. So Temperance is a great card for you. You need to remember what makes you a success. A huge part of Sagittarian success is the nonchalance with which it is accomplished. You are effortless in your talents. It's easy. It's no big deal. So treat this the same way. Don't push it. If it comes to love and you feel stuck, don't push it. If it's not easy, don't push. Treat it like you treat everything else that works out well in your life. Sagittarians know the formula of what works well. You guys know what to do to have a situation work out in your favor. You guys are also tripping over your words, huh? It's like you've got so much to say, but your mind is working a lot faster than your ability to articulate. Okay. So Sagittarius feels held back. You want to go 1,000,000 miles an hour. But it becomes about quality now. Right? We need to maintain a certain level of quality to our behavior, to our contributions, to everything that we come across. Because we want to be noticed. We want to be seen. We want to be assessed because we know we won't be found lacking. Now it's just a matter of not getting in your own way, not letting your temper get the better of you. You know, the temperance card all on its own is a read because it's like, don't do what you usually do. Like, do the better Sag thing. You know better. Right? And the Hangman is like, we can just stay here until you want to admit that you actually know better and do the responsible thing. Sag is going through something where you're becoming, you know, more adult. Queen of Swords, really taking on a much more responsible role. Someone who's thinking things through and not just going off of like fire, immutable energy instinct. Not that that's a bad thing, it's just you're having a grow up moment. It's good. Watch your communication, especially with air signs. The air signs are pretty sharp in Aquarius season. We really go for it. And also, it looks here like you need to step into your authority a little bit. When you have a lot of eyes on you, coming from a place of power is the best move. Control the situation. Control the room. Remember that. Control the room. Your vibe should set the tone instead of the other way around. No matter how much you want the thing, the job, the person, your vibe should set the tone of the entire thing. The conversation should be off of what makes you most comfortable. And the only way for you to be completely comfortable is for you to not push yourself, not push anybody else, and like I said, nonchalant success. Like, you're just good at it. You're nice with it. It'll come to you. The Queen of Swords is also about communication, direct, clear communication. If you are dealing with a water sign, you really want specific answers from them. And they look like they want to give them. They look pretty forthcoming with their love and with their affection and with their offers. So it doesn't seem like that big of a problem. The Queen of Swords seems a bit disproportionate of a response to the Knight of Cups, but okay, that's fine. We are who we are. If you're dealing with a water sign that's been quite harsh, you may feel stuck emotionally because of that person. In which case, again, the advice, temperance, find yourself. At the base of it all, there's a lot that Sag won't tolerate. And maybe that's what some of the hesitancy and the Hangman is about. It's just the sadness of the stuff that you did tolerate. That you really, really shouldn't have. Right? So now when you have this new cup being offered to you, it's like, yeah, but we've been here before, right? And I remember what happened before, and maybe it wasn't with you, but it was close enough, and now I'm going to have to make the same decision, but then if I don't, I just stay stuck in the Hangman, and I don't want to do that either. How about we focus a little bit more on self and less on relationships this month? More on work, less on what other people think of us. And that's not even a read. That's, I think, for everyone. Focus on self is so important. Your second card out is your card. Focus on self. Hangman, Temperance can also be read, excuse me, as you staying stuck until you focus on self. You staying stuck until you get back to yourself. Your core stuff. 8 of Pentacles. Work on you. Focus on the work. Focus on the work. Very serious reading. Very like, do the thing. Almost harsh, one could say, right? And then the Star card in reverse. Almost harsh, one could say. Aquarius season is a bit harsh. There's a way that Aquarian season can spice up our vocabulary that's very sharp. And the need to be an individual here in reverse is just a little too much. You may find that you, in March, will hear from people that you were way too headstrong and that you should have eased up a little bit in February. And remember when you did that or when you said that and that wasn't cool, and yeah, you were being kind of a jerk, and oh, I think you lost such and such opportunity because you said this and that. The Star in reverse is just another way of saying, be careful how much you allow your ego to run you. Be careful how much you allow your ego to speak for you. Instead, remember that you are on a stage and that you should act accordingly, as if you are being watched and listened to all the time, because in a way you are. Like this month, if you slip up, the universe can't wait to like tell your business. And I think it has to do with teaching you not a lesson, but a new way to live. There's a lot of stuff that you want resolved, Queen of Swords. You want answers from Knight of Cups or whoever, that doesn't have to be a water sign. It's just someone that you have a love interest in. And you want your answers and you want action and you want to move and you don't want to feel stuck anymore and you're sad about the whole thing. And then you're just like, okay, I'll just work and forget about everything. But the Star is in reverse, so you're not really getting what you want and you're not communicating what you want. And on some level, you realize that your harshness may have pushed this and contributed to what's going on. So that makes it even worse. And here we find ourselves. Okay. Good. I can see why you're upset. It's frustrating. It's a frustrating situation. To have all this to give and not feel like there's anyone to give it to. If there is someone to give it to, are you having a hard time trusting them? And excuse me. And if you are having a hard time trusting them, why? Does it have anything to do with them, or does it have to do with the past? Or does it have to do with their past? Or does it have to do with something completely unrelated, and yet you feel this block that you can't move past? Hanged Man, right? Temperance card is behind the Hanged Man, the block, and then the Star in reverse, and then trying to find a way forward, but perhaps doing it in the wrong way. And all the while, the Temperance card is standing there like fully on display, like, okay, everything I'm doing is being scrutinized, everything I'm doing is being called out, everything I'm doing is being, spoken about. Queen of Swords, especially if you're in a work environment, you may feel like people are gossiping about you. If you are around family a lot, you may feel like they're talking about you behind your back when you're gone. You may find that a group of friends right now or a lover has not been like dishonest as in unfaithful, but dishonest in the way that they speak about you. Bottom of the deck, 3 of Pentacles and the Magician. I'm happy to see the Magician here. That mercurial energy, that mutable energy, necessary with a strong earthly grounded bond to get you what you need, Sagittarius. If you are dealing with an earth sign, it's looking very positive. The water sign, not so much. But there's some key advice here. It's like the cards are like, look, I really like you, and I want you to just know that it's not the way you think it is. That's what the reading looks like. It's not the way you think it is. I know you feel like the Hanged Man. That's one of the first things I said. I know it feels like you're stuck, but you're not really stuck. And part of the reason I think you feel like you're stuck is because on one side you have the Hanged Man, on the other you have the Queen of Swords. So it's like you feel stuck, but you also feel you also feel like you can't talk about it. You also feel like if you talk about it, it's going to be too much and too harsh, right? So it's like, oh, I'll just deal with it. I'll just deal with feeling stuck. This could be in terms of like, is this relationship moving forward? Am I going to graduate? I don't want to be in the middle of this at home anymore. Whatever it is, it's like, maybe I can ride it out. Maybe I can wait it out. But the hangman energy is so strong. It's like, no, we have to do something. I'm sick of being here. And the temperance card coming in and being like, you're right. I this is not me. I don't want to do this. And then we jump straight to Queen of Swords. Like once Sag decides like, oh, I don't want to do that. It's like, I don't want to do this. And we don't want to do that. We want to pull back on that so we don't have to go through the Five of Cups energy later of regretting stuff and having to work twice as hard to make up for whatever has happened now. That is what also the Eight of Pentacles is about. And then the Star in reverse and the Magician. So you basically getting what you want and then being tested like, can you handle this? Can you still be kind, normal, humble, even when you have great power at your fingertips, even when you have great knowledge at your fingertips? Can you supersede all that? Yeah. It's an interesting reading. I didn't anticipate it starting this way or going this way, but I totally feel your stuck, like fatigued vibes. You guys have been fatigued for a while. Like, it's interesting. Overwhelmingly tired is how I feel. But I can also feel the tiredness of someone who is really wanting to push through on something and cannot. You know, the tiredness of walking in place. It's a special kind of weariness. I get it. I get it. So by the time you get to the Star, of course it's in reverse because you're like, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I've been walking in place, pushing against something that has not moved. And now I'm so tired, I don't think I even know what I want anymore. That's what the fatigue is from, this constant trying to move an immovable object, the Hangman, Temperance. And this Magician is also indicating here as someone who could be a potential love interest for you. Someone you could have something very, very stable with. Someone that comes in super, super, super confident. You can't tell them anything about anything. Looks good. All right, Sag, let's look at these cards. Happy Valentine's Day. I love you. I'll see you in a second. Hi, Sag. Oh, I'm sorry it's so late. Here we are. As you can see, it's February 1st, so we're all right still. You've been hangman until February 1st anyway, so we're all right. We chill. Welcome to Negril. The second part of your video is being shot here. So first of all, I'd like to point out that this is fantastic. And the reason it's fantastic is because it meshes the two things that we've been focusing on since this Jupiter situation started. And that is the meshing of different sorts of abundance. Love, security, and money. Right? Stable, Three of Pentacles, the pyramid shape. Often I like to call it a well-oiled machine. It feeds itself. Here we have another indication of that Jupiterian abundance still working. But it's really important, just like for everybody else, but for you guys, especially starting February 1st, to really, really watch what you say. It will determine how much you can get done. There's this train of like good stuff, you get on a roll, and the only thing really that can turn you around here is the harshness of Aquarius season. If you let your words go wild. If you're going to read somebody, just do it in a kind way, is the way I would put it. Just be really, really kind. If they need to be read, they need to be read, but do it in a way that's kind and that helps them instead of just wounds them. If you're looking to wound people or angry or vengeful right now,
it could go left. And not left in a larger way in terms of career or your personal life, but left in that you stand to come to fruition, you stand to have a lot of things come to fruition quickly. And it just seems a shame to slow down your own good karma. I think the good stuff will come to you anyway. It's pretty obvious, especially if you focus. Right? This is concentrated attention that is not productive, and this is concentrated attention that is. So if you focus, if you shift your energy from nostalgia, pain, emotional, those little pools we get into, and instead focus on your bag, you will find you can minimize the effects of the slowing down, of the pulling back, especially if you watch your words, especially if you embody your card. How do you get over the stuck energy? By being yourself, but not so much yourself that you hurt people. Sure, sling arrows, but not arrows all the time. You got to mix it up with some love and mix it up with being able to receive some love. And maybe you don't want to receive love, because look what happened when you received those cups, or look what happened when you gave those cups. It doesn't have to be cups that you received that spilled. It could be cups that you gave that somebody else spilled, and you're just standing there looking like, damn, I gave you that and you just spilled it like that. And it's sad, and misfortune is a part of life, unfortunately, or perhaps fortunately, considering it teaches us how to become more ourselves. When our boundaries are tested, we find the edges of what makes us us. And you are deep in that process now, Sag. And you have the potential to come out so good. So good. So good. But this catch here, it seems like a small one, but it's big, because behind the aggression and the controlling of that aggression and the controlling of your words is your great contentment. But it is surrounded, beset on both sides by the sharp words, by the desire and the ability to end things quickly, to slice through. What a read. Ooh, let's get into the extended right now, huh? I'll be right back.